H1B lottery selection has been done for this fiscal year. The results are trickling in. Emily, is all the selection done, some selection done, part selection done? And when would we get the complete results?
Yeah, I think we're just at the very beginning here. It's definitely not done. Stephen had gotten his first one about 45 minutes ago, just after noon Houston time. Right before we started this live stream, I refreshed my account and one popped up for me as well, out of all of them. So it's just one on my side. But yes, they are slowly trickling in. We do expect this to continue probably through the weekend into Monday, maybe even into Tuesday before the filing window opens on April 1st, which is Wednesday.
Stephen, what is it in EB2? Sorry, level 1, level 2, or is bachelor's? Or can you explain more about the lottery selection that you got?
Yeah, so mine, I looked it up here, and again, just to kind of reiterate what Emily said. I mean, I only have one, and I think our selection rate is going to be higher than 1%. Or just under, just around there. But this was filed in the master's cap as a level 2, but it was selected in bachelor's cap. Emily, what was yours?
Yeah, mine was filed in the master's cap. It was selected in the master's cap, which tells me they've done both lotteries for both the bachelor's and the master's, but mine was also a level 4 wage.
You said level 2, is that right, Stephen?
Yes, mine was level 2, correct.
And even though you filed even though you filed in masters, it got selected in bachelor's.
Correct. And we know from a couple years ago, I mean, they always have kind of run both. And I guess it was sometime first Trump administration, they redid the algorithm to do masters first and then put them back into the bachelor's. So yeah, mine's in bachelor's, even though it was in master's.
And does it mean all the selection will be done today? Or how long normally takes with the experience you both guys have?
Yeah, our experience is we will continue to see them over the weekend. Stephen and I both historically tweet through the weekend, letting people know as we keep getting them in. And then we probably won't start getting the email notifications until Monday. That's been my experience. We'll see a bunch of emails in our accounts Monday saying, please log into your My USCIS account. Then we see the same selection notices that we already knew were there, but they don't actually notify you until Monday. I don't know if they'll continue through Tuesday, but that would definitely be the last day because we have the filing window opening on Wednesday, April 1st.
So we can start filing H1B starting from April 1st until what time we are allowed to file the H1B, Stephen?
Yeah, no timeline. We have to just file before, close of business, June 30th. Although if you're my clients, I'm going to tell you earlier because, USCIS has been kind of, the mailroom has been a little finicky. So I do recommend people try to file as early as practicable because when you can, otherwise you might end up with faulty rejections that are tough to work on, how bad the mailroom is.
Yeah, and I want to add in so people are aware that there is a new version of the I-129 form, the new form edition date. I think it's edition date February 26th, if I remember off the top of my head. But you have to use this new version starting on April 1st. So if you're filing anything in the cap based on these selection notices, make sure that the new version of the form is being used. What's different in this form? Now USCIS on the data collection supplement asks the company to provide the minimum education required for the position, the years of experience required for the position, any special skills required for the position, and whether there are any supervisory duties involved. Conceivably, they're going to take that information and use it to verify that the employer selected the correct wage level on the LCA. So I'm expecting we will see new types of RFEs this year that we've never seen before as a result of this change in the form.
So if somebody's selected in the level 4, is there a chance that you can file this application in a different level and different location, Stephen?
Not location, but it's kind of a little bit interesting because when we talk about, and Emily just discussed this with the new form, when we talk about determining the wage level for the petition, right, and the LCA, it's actually based off of a matrix that looks at comparing the requirements of the position to the general requirements under ONET, and then making that determination based off of years of experience required, education required, supervisory duties, et cetera, et cetera. But when we did the registration, and this is how it was written in the rule, it's just straight on the wage. So you could conceivably have something where the wage meets level 4, um, because hey, we're paying level 4 wage. But when you do the matrix for Department of Labor, you come up with a level 3 wage as appropriate. I think, truthfully, I think most companies there's a match, to be honest with you, but it is possible to have a different wage level, as long as you can show that it was still right with the registration, if that makes sense.
Can the employee check whether his name got selected in the lottery?
No, the selection notices only come into the My USCIS account. Only the attorney or the employer has access to the account. The employee will not have access to that. The selection notices and the registrations do have a confirmation number. There is no place to enter that confirmation number. So even if the employer or attorney provided that to the employee so that they would have comfort knowing that it's actually submitted, they can't do anything with that number. There's no way to check it and see what the status is. It's not like the uscis.gov website where you can enter a receipt number and see the status of your case. This is not the case here. So only the employer or their attorney if they're working with an attorney. So you have to wait until they notify you as the employee.
So the
Yeah, and I
employer,
think,
good. Sir.
oh yeah, I mean, I know we get questioned about this. Oh, I hadn't heard from my attorney. I hadn't heard from mine, or I haven't heard from my employer. I mean, truthfully, I think most attorneys and employers are going to wait until everything is done with USCIS, to make sure that it's accurate. And then number 2, there might be delays. The company going through and deciding what's actually out there and notifying. So I wouldn't panic, for sure. I think we wanted to do this session to let people know it's starting to come in, and break let people know about the news. But I mean, I'm not emailing everybody today either, because just we'd end up sending way too many emails.
So when would be the last day that, Emily, you would say that's after that there won't be any selection process for this term, at least in the first
Yeah,
place?
definitely March 31st, Tuesday at the very latest, because the window for filing opens on Wednesday the 1st. However, in our experience, I think most of the time the Monday before the window opens for filing is the last day we typically see those registrations. And I think USCIS typically makes an announcement around that time as well. So probably Monday will be the end of it, possibly Tuesday, but my bet would be on Monday.
Yeah,
Um,
I bet you, sometime Monday around like 10 o'clock Central is usually about, I feel like, when we see that email saying, hey, we've run the lottery and uploaded everything. It's usually fairly early in the day, Monday.
and what about the phase 2 though? So a lot of times we had like phase 1 selection lottery, and then they didn't fill it out, and then they opened it again. Are you expecting the second lottery or third lottery this time, Stephen and Emily? Because we have this $100,000 fees. All those people who are outside the country, the companies have to pay $100,000. Some of the people may have applied and they may not be willing to pay the $100,000 fees, and they may have applied for the lottery system, and that doesn't, I'm sorry, exemption for the 100,000, which the government may not be able to give it though. What do you feel, that there will be a second lottery this time?
My guess is possibly, maybe, likely. I think out of all of the years when we've had this electronic registration, so it goes back to 2020, this would be a likely year where we might have another round just because everything's different. It's so different this year because number one, it's done by the wage level, and number two, the $100,000 fee. So those factors are completely new, never been done before. And so there's going to be a lot more calculation that a company makes when determining whether they're going to move forward with a selection or not. And we also don't know how many selections USCIS makes. So there's 85,000 slots, but they always select extra because they know there are a certain percentage that won't be filed or that will get denied or that will get withdrawn before October 1st. And so they try to take that into consideration, but it's not an exact science. So they won't know how many petitions these selections will generate until June 30th when they get the last of them. At that point, they will then look at, okay, did we get the number of petitions we were expecting based on the number of selections we did? And if not, then we could see another round. And that typically happens July 14th-ish, if I remember. I don't know, Stephen, if you recall.
Yeah, it's usually mid-July. And then just to add on to that, I mean, I think we've got to see how many registered, and I don't know what every company is doing. I know I had a conversation with one engineering company in a small town who said, hey, we are going to try to register this person who is outside the United States because we have tried our best to find someone who wants to relocate to our small city with this skill set, and we can't find somebody. But they want to kind of see how the $100,000 litigation goes and if that's going to apply. And so I don't know, are there companies who took that route, or there are companies who said, we're just going to punt this year and see, next year, because this $100,000 thing is just kind of out of whack with what most companies are doing. So I agree, Emily. I think if there was any year where I could say, oh, well, I would feel better about saying we might have a second lottery, it would be this year, but who knows? There's so many variables that go into it, like you said.
Anything else, Emily?
I think we had a question about, what are the odds of selection? Of course, there's no way we can answer that yet because number one, we don't know how many registrations were actually entered. USCIS will eventually publish that data, but it's usually well after this whole process is over with. So we'll have to just go based on, for our firm, how many selections we submitted, what percentage got selected, and then drill down into those to see, okay, what percentage of them were master's cap versus bachelor's cap? What percentage of them were level 4 versus level 3, 2, or 1? And kind of go based on our own internal data, which generally reflects what other attorneys report as well. So we will be hopefully providing that and sharing that information. I don't know if it'll be as early as next week because it is a lot of data to sift through, but we will try to get that together. And likely we'll be talking about it on one of our Tuesday live sessions. If you're not familiar with our YouTube channel, we do every Tuesday, 5 o'clock Central Time. We do a live session for 1 hour where we give updates on what's going on across all of business immigration, and then we answer questions live. So definitely stay tuned to that. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you get the updates on when we go live there.
Anything else, Stephen?
No, that should be right. I mean, I'm curious to see how they report it this year. They're going to report by wage level and all that. I'm curious to see their reporting for sure.
Okay. Well, please subscribe to our channel and also subscribe to our blog. We are going to keep any updates that come in. We do give update. Don't forget that we do have a daily Zoom call that you can come and ask questions. The link is provided there. It's free. It's online, and you can check out that Zoom call that you can come in. And we do conduct a lot of webinars. And so if you subscribe to our blog at rnlawgroup.com, you'll get all the updates.